Welcome to the Way Up Podcast with your host, Geoff Knoll. I do this podcast to learn from others what they can identify that set them up to be successful in their lives. In this episode, I have the pleasure of sitting down with a childhood friend who has evolved into a multifaceted powerhouse in the world of entrepreneurship, education, and real estate, Kalan Hubbard. As an entrepreneur, keynote speaker, educator, and realtor, Kalan Hubbard has carved a remarkable path for himself, captivating audiences with his dynamic presence and insightful messages, with a profound understanding of the intricacies of Entrepremarriges. Kalan brings a unique perspective to the table. Join us as we delve into Kalan's journey, exploring how he navigates the intersection of business and personal relationships. Discover how he empowers individuals and organizations to thrive in both their entrepreneurial endeavors and their marriages, highlighting the importance of purposeful approaches in every aspect of life. Get ready for an engaging conversation filled with wisdom, inspiration, and actionable insights. Welcome to the Way Up Podcast, where we ascend to new heights together. The Way Up Podcast is proudly brought to you by my real estate team, the Noble Team eXp Realty. We're redefining industry standards in the markets we operate, distinguishing ourselves from the crowd. We leverage our uniqueness to gain a strategic edge, all while elevating not only ourselves, but also those in our world, including our competitors. Join us on this journey. Your time and investment will undoubtedly be well placed. Hang with us till the end. I know you won't be disappointed. I'm really excited to introduce my friend Kalan Hubbard. This guy he has spent the night at my house when we were children.
Yes.
We've been friends for a good long time since I think in fourth grade actually is when we moved to Adrian, where he was. His dad was my PE coach. We've just been longtime friends that haven't really stayed connected, but I'm watching what you're doing on social media. You've had this real estate business. You're putting out a bunch of content about Entrepremarrige, the Entrepremarrige code, a course that you're putting out. And I'm really excited to have you come in and talk about this.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. Yeah, we've been friends for a long time. We've still got family that live 2 or 3 houses apart back in our home.
Your grandma lives 3 houses down from my dad.
Yeah.
You're in Joplin, Missouri, correct?
Yeah, so we're based out of Joplin here, Southwest Missouri.
Okay. Dude, this is fantastic. I also want to bring up, I remember it has to come in. We got to talk about the karate. You were in karate. I was so jealous because I had plans to become a ninja whenever I was in fourth grade.
As all fourth grade boys do. Yeah.
But you were in karate, and when you spent the night, you wore your kata, or not your kata, the gi. You wore the gi and you did a kata in our living room. And I was like, this guy's the coolest dude ever. Not surprised that you're now still fantastic and awesome. So
if you ever played that game, 2 Truths and a Lie, where you say 3 things and 2 of them are true and one's a lie, I always throw the karate in there and people always think it's the lie. And I'm like, I know at one time I was in karate. So yeah.
I did as an adult get to do some BJJ as actually not all that long ago. And I fell in love with it really quick. I picked up on it being a big guy, long and lanky. I actually pretty good at it. I broke a rib, so that kind of slowed it down. It made me think a little bit that I'm an adult, and if I get damaged, this could really affect my family if I get put out of commission for something that I'm trying to do to be healthy and create energy and have all of these things.
Yeah. You got all kinds of options to do that though. So
absolutely
get after it. If it's martial arts, if it's whatever, just get after it. We'll figure the rest out. I say that knowing that I will not be affected by your health. So chokeholds.
Do it. It's okay. Have dudes slam down on top of you. It's cool. Yeah. I like it.
It's all good.
So,
Kalan, I appreciate you to jump into this. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get into it. So I really want you to talk about what led you to this? What led you to get into the topic of Entrepremarrige? And I want you to explain that term that a lot of people may not have heard And what led you there?
Yeah. So entrepreneur. So we'll start with just the term entrepreneurship and marriage, and their whatever combination that a person finds themselves in. My wife and I have kind of been through all three different combinations. At one time, I was a teacher working that 9 to 5 type job, pretty steady, pretty regular, and she was in real estate. So she had the fluctuating hours, fluctuating income, things like that. So we had that entrepreneurmarriage, because I see an entrepreneurmarriage as any marriage that has at least one entrepreneur in it, and that the entrepreneurship lives cohesively with the marriage. So in the beginning, that's where we were, and then I quit teaching and we started our real estate team. My wife started our real estate team and pulled me out of teaching. She needed a listing agent, and she said, "Kalan, you talk to everybody, whether they want to or not. You'll talk to a fence post. That's what I need." So I came on with her, and so then we are two entrepreneurs in the same business, and we did that for several years. We ran a team and eventually started our own brokerage, and we've since transitioned into the current stage of our entrepreneurmarriage, which is we're both entrepreneurs, but we're in different businesses. She is building out an online company, and I teach and speak and do this over here. So we're both entrepreneurs, but we're in two different companies. So all those are entrepreneurmarriages, as I defined it. And since I made up the word, I guess I get to make the definition. So,
Heck
so
yeah.
that's what, yeah. So that's that. And someone asked me that same question a couple of weeks ago, and said, why this? And it's a cool combination of what really excites me. And that is a being on stage. I've always liked being on a microphone and just having a great time with a large group of people. I have so much fun with that. It's just invigorates me. And then I get to teach, and I get to help, and I get to see people progress, and I get to see people chase big success. And I have a big heart for that entrepreneurial space. So when I see someone like chasing their dreams, and they've jumped off the cliff and they're building the parachute on the way down, betting on themselves, I love that spirit. So if I get to help them and I get to have a great time on stage, like I'm all in. So that's what got me there. And as far as the actual topic, I got a chance to see a lot of really amazing people making amazing businesses, creating wealth and legacy and all these great things, while their marriage just fell apart over and over. And it just broke my heart. So we combined all that and said, this is what we're going to do. And Jessica, my wife, her name is Jessica, she said, you got to do this. You got to go do this. Let's figure it out.
Well,
So
none of this surprises me from our relationship. Even you as a kid, I'm not surprised that you are fantastic on the stage. I fully believe that you've always been able to engage with people, very charismatic. Your dad, the same way. Just
right,
the way that you guys communicate with people is next level. So that is fantastic. And even on this show, I've had several very successful businessmen come on and tell me, I built this incredible business, and doing all of this, even with the intention of I'm doing this for my family. And that's what they end up losing, because they make all the sacrifices on the business end, doing everything. And the family's over here just wishing that they had time with dad, just wishing they had time with their husband, want to have that, that love language of spending time with me. Because that's important. It's important to have that dedicated time just like that. So was there a point in your marriage, as you guys are going through the journey of your entrepreneurship, starting the different businesses, that you guys are feeling this struggle, feeling a pain point of, we're getting pulled different directions. We've got so much crap going on that we're not making time to have dinner together. We're not making time to do this. Was that something you guys faced?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. And a lot of my teachings and the things we've developed to put into the coursework and to put it into the speeches, a lot of it comes from our experiences, our mistakes that have been the greatest teachers, and those feelings that we had. I've sat outside my bedroom on the floor, back against the wall, wondering if I'm going to have a wife the next day. I've gone through that.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to work wondering if she's going to be there when I get back, because whether it's something I did or something we got going on, or just the stress of everything, like what are we doing? What's happening here? And it got to a point where we're like, hey, like you said, our goal was to do this thing, to have this life. This thing is not creating this life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's change this thing. And it was that simple. And we firmly believe in a life by design. We've got one of our LLCs is LBD Properties, Life by Design. And we had the life that we wanted to design, and we had the life that we wanted. And this is what we want to look like. This is what we want our time to look like. This is what we want to feel between each other. This is what we want for our daughter, Quinn. This is what we want for our outside family. And we believe that this vehicle of our careers could build that. And once we realized it wasn't, we knew that needed to change. But the Entrepremarrige is all about understanding that this career and this marriage are going to blend together. They're either going to bleed together or blend together. And in our marriage, like, we have marital conversations about our careers. They're very intertwined, and they're very interwoven. And that's what an Entrepremarrige is about, is understanding that you can't just draw a hard line and say, okay, when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home. I think a lot of people have that misconception of, okay, work-life balance is when I'm at work, I'm at work. And when I'm at home, I'm at home. For the business owner, for the entrepreneur, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to do that. You're going to drive yourself crazy. It's about understanding when they need to intertwine, how they intertwine, what are the conversations we need to have to make sure that we're looking at our marriage on this, in the same, with the same lens. We're looking at our careers and our goals and what it's going to take to get there. We don't have to look at them the same way. We just have to look at them together.
Mm-hmm.
She comes from an entrepreneurial family, mom and dad, aunts, uncles, grandma and grandpa. I mean, almost everybody on her side of the family, they're entrepreneurs, small business owners, architects, builders, gun brokers. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Most of the people in my family worked for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a world I just never knew. And there's nothing wrong with either world.
Same,
They're
yeah.
very, very, very different, So so when you're in those different worlds, those are different marriages.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad had, they've been married 40 some years, I think now.
Wow.
Something
awesome.
like that. Or no, they're coming up on 40. A long time. Both retired school teachers, both always worked for the school system. I could ask my dad on a, well, I'd ask my mom. My dad wouldn't know, but I could ask my mom January 2nd, hey, where will dad be October 1st at 2:00? She could tell me. Like she could say, okay, he'll probably be in this part of the school. We'll make this much that month. We'll make this much the month after that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have this much in our retirement. This is what our weekends are probably looking like at that time. I can't answer those questions about Jessica in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Let alone months out. The way we look at our schedules and our time and our investments and vacation, and they're so different. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where an Entrepremarrige is, and that's what we really teach.
That's killer. Well, and
I
that
kind of went off on a tangent there.
no,
I get excited. I get
I'm glad
excited.
you got into it though, because I mean, I'm living this. My
Mhm.
wife similar. My wife's family, a lot of entrepreneurs. My family,
Really?
my parents worked for other people, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's just a different world. It's something that was foreign to me, and as you're getting into this entrepreneurship lifestyle, you're realizing that you have to be able to have communications at home that are different than some marriages ever have to experience.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and just like if you're talking with an employee, you want to make sure that you're not, damaging relationships. It's even more important whenever it's your family. This is your wife. This is your children that you actually, you love and you want to see them grow and prosper. Not that you don't want that for your employees, but you want to make sure that you're fostering a good relationship because you can have all
Right.
the money in the world and it doesn't matter if you're unhappy at home.
Yeah. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but we got so many people, you and I come from the real estate world. There's so many people talking about, oh, a shift in the market, a shift in this, and how are we going to adapt? Like, you talk about a shift, try a divorce where you're going to lose 50% of your stuff and go through the most emotionally traumatizing thing in your world, and you're going to hand that to your kids. Like, we spend more time trying to avoid a real estate shift, and we spend more time trying to prepare. We spend more time training ourselves how to talk to employees and how to have tough conversations with coworkers, when the biggest threat to our world is losing our partner. From a financial, emotional, mental standpoint, that's the biggest threat out there. And yet, you know and I'm guilty of it. I'll read so many books a year, and then I'll look at the end, I'm like, man, 95% of these are about business and leadership development and accounting,
Hmm.
investing, and all this. And I'm like, oh, I read one book about how to be a better husband.
Yeah,
Okay. But if you were to ask me, Kalen, what's the most important thing? Oh, being a good, husband and being a good father.
right.
Does my reading reflect that? Does my, so it's like I said, you got to know what's important, and then you got to stand behind and let other people see what's important to you. So
Sure. Well, so this podcast is really aimed at the journey to becoming successful. And I know everybody has an idea of what you want to accomplish. And I'm sure that even as successful as you are, you probably have something out in front of you that you're reaching for that you really have in your mind that is what success is going to feel like. But the journey is enjoying life as we go and
right.
being grateful for the process. Even the crappy stuff, that the tough lessons that we learn that slap us around, that's an important part of the process, not to miss out on. So I want you to talk a little bit about your journey to getting where you are in your life. What is something that you can identify that positioned you to be successful at this stage of your life?
Gotcha. Well, okay. So the the quick and easy version of the journey is, um, going through school, came out of school and knew I wanted to work around people and numbers. That was like the only thing I knew I was good at. I was good at numbers. I was good at people. So I thought, bank, great. I'm gonna go get a job at a bank. Hated every second of it.
That sounds
Uh,
terrible,
it
by
was,
the way. I never want to
right.
do that.
Oh,
I never want to
yeah.
do that.
It was, but I could talk for another 2 hours on the atrocities that happened with our youth and advising them in what careers to go into. But this one was my mistake. I thought numbers, people, bank. I went on one interview and they offered me a job, and I was like, all right, I'm in. I didn't look at any other jobs. I didn't look anywhere else. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be great. This will be fine. Yeah, didn't make it a year, and went back to school and got into teaching. So I taught for 7 years, and then going back to life by design. I loved my time teaching. Absolutely loved it. Loved the people I taught with. and again, loved my time in the education world. But I got into teaching for what I felt like the teaching world could provide me outside of work. The life I wanted. I was 23, single. All the things I wanted to do. I wanted to fish in the summers. I wanted time off in the winters to hunt. So I had Christmas and Thanksgiving. I wanted to be around sports. So I coached. Like it created this life I wanted. Then that reached a point where it wasn't creating the life I wanted, when the life I wanted changed, got married. So then we got into real estate, started building this real estate thing that again was creating that life. And then eventually real estate no longer created the life we wanted. So now we are where we are. That's the Reader's Digest version of it. But the big point that made the biggest impact on me, I would say there's two big ones. One was fully coming to grips with that concept of life by design, and I'll credit Keller Williams with having that term. They teach a term called life by design. Oh, it's when I really internalized that to a point of, wait a minute, we can create what we want, and we can pick our careers and our jobs based on this life we want to build, and we have 100% full control over that. Holy cow. Like it just, like I had it in my mind, like I'm going to graduate, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to graduate again, I'm going to get a job, and whatever they pay me is what's going to pay me. And as long as I like the job, I'll figure out the rest. And, just, I assume I'll get married, have 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many kids, have a few kids. We have one, and love that we only have one, and
Yeah,
we
me
love that
too.
one now.
No more.
The triangle family is where it's at, man. So really coming to grips with that was the biggest thing. And then the second one, I would say, seeing how much power and how much an advantage and how much fun it is to do this life by design thing with the person that I love the most.
Mm-hmm.
And with Jessica, just what we get to do every day and create this life, whatever that is for that a person wants to create out there, to get to do that with your person, it's the best. It's the best. And so people ask me all the time, hey, would you ever go back to teaching, or what would you do if real estate, tanked, or what you're doing now doesn't work out? I said, I don't know, but A, we're going to be in control of it, and B, it's going to be with Jessica somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, if I got both of those, we'll figure the rest out.
Right.
Figure the rest out.
Well, it's a different dynamic whenever you work daily hand in hand with your spouse too. You have,
oh gosh,
you live together, you're together all the time. And then for work, you're also, coinciding and interacting with each other every day. It is, I can see why a lot of marriages fail, because there is added stress, there's added pressure.
Yeah.
And how are you not going to piss somebody off whenever you're around them that much? It's going to happen. Any friendship, any relationship, any employee you're with too much.
There's going to be that friction.
For sure.
Jay Shetty talks about, like, the key to a great relationship is not making sure you go on vacation. It's not date nights. It's not knowing each other's love languages so that you can love your person and bring them love that way. It's the ability to fight really well. And what I mean, the ability to fight with the concept of, if I win and you lose, we both lost.
Mm-hmm.
If you win and I lose, we both lost. The only way that we win is if we both win in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know how to fight well with that goal, whether I share a wall. She's on the other side of the wall. She's in the next room over, and she's working on her stuff. Whether it's that close a dynamic, or I know people that work in the same office. One person's here and the other person's right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Or Or, you go to work at the bank and she runs her own accounting firm, whatever. You got to be able to, you got to be able to handle, like you said, when somebody gets pissed off, you got to be able to
Right.
handle it.
And it will happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
There's no
just
way around it.
it's just a matter of time. But whenever you guys can quickly identify, hey, this isn't going the way that is going to be beneficial for anybody. We
Right.
both love each other. We're on the same team. We're not opposing.
Exactly.
We're not enemies. I want to make this work. So let me stop taking this so personally. And I think that's the root of the beginning of all of the issues where you're beating your head against each other is people taking things personally that
Right.
that are not, or at least they shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
They
Shouldn't
shouldn't
be.
be. But
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it all the time. I mean, probably more than some. Like I'll take it personally, but I'll catch it because I I have learned to identify, okay, she doesn't mean this. She's not, degrading me as a human being because she's
Right.
correcting something that isn't great that I could do better. That's a criticism. It's okay. Don't be so sensitive. Don't be so, she's not,
Yeah.
it's not an attack. It's not a personal attack. It's not personal. This is, she wants you to look good. She wants your business to be
Yeah.
operating at capacity,
Yeah. Like you
So
said, this is the person that loves you more than anybody else. Chances are they're not attacking you as a human,
yeah.
One thing we do in our when there's that something's off, something there's friction, whatever it is, um, I ask, what is the lie I'm telling myself? Like, she said this thing and it hurt. What? She didn't say that to hurt me. So what's the lie that like where's the misunderstanding? She said this, but I heard that. Where's the disconnect? And now both of us are, instead of going back and forth, we're trying to find where that disconnect was. And there's so many times where we boil it down and I'll say, but you said this. And she goes, no, 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 no. I said this. Well, it means this. No, 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 no. Like, and then oh, you meant this. I
Hmm.
took it as that. Oh, okay, okay. And it comes down to that. And then it's just a matter of understanding and asking questions. And let me ask you this: what is the this is one of my favorite questions to ask people when it comes to this type of stuff. What are the what are some of your favorite questions to ask your spouse in a moment of friction or argumentative or in a fight?
I'll ask her, well, let me think about this.
I
In a fight.
definitely should have told you this question was coming, but it just popped to me.
No,
So
it's okay. I'm on
I
the fly's okay. It's fine. So I will ask her if she understands how if she understands my perspective
there
and,
you go.
trying to be heard rather than understanding first. It's trying to be heard. That's my initial reaction. Um, and sometimes it is initially it's taking offense. Other questions for her, let me think.
So I asked that.
Yeah.
I would say 98% of the time that that and then that question gets answered, and this is very human nature. It's something of that line of thinking. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Do you understand what you said to me?
Hmm.
Do you understand how that made me feel?
Hmm.
And that's very because in that moment we're just wired to go into a self-preservation, and then b, the second one is like we have this innate want to be right, you
Hmm.
know?
Yep.
And so Jay Shetty and a couple other guys talk about this lady wrote a great book. I just finished it not too long ago. I got to think of it now. But how important the skill set of switching all those around. Am I understanding you this way? Am I hearing what you said? That has just blown my mind. So I'm trying to get a lot better at like all my questions. I'm like trying to catch them before they come out. I'm like, wait.
Mhm.
Okay, what about am I hearing you? Am I hearing that this is what you're saying? And it's changed the way we
That's power.
argue.
That's very powerful to have the awareness to catch it as it's
It's
happening,
tough. It is
rather
tough.
rather than have to apologize. And because that's the thing, we usually run our mouth first and then apologize later. And I really didn't mean it to come across that way. I understand. I'm sorry. But to be able to catch it before all of the stuff that you didn't actually mean, or that could have been avoided had you thought through your words,
Right.
um,
Right.
being slower to speak and quicker to listen would be
Ooh.
another good analogy for that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
so, dude, I want to know what 5 years down the road, what is your life by design look like?
Ooh.
You can do
5 years.
anything in the world.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a big believer that anything you desire in the world is 5 years or less away if you're purposeful and intentional about it. So I like that. I like that question. 5 years down the road, um, we have probably 4 businesses up and running instead of just two. And let's see, Quinn will be 15, so we're getting ready for her driving. Um, we are in a financial position where we can give what we want to give instead of what we can give.
Hmm.
Um, we can bless more people, and we can reach out and offer the help that we want to give. Um, so that's a big one. By then, I have a personal career goal. I want to speak in front of 50,000 people. So we've knocked that one out, and um, we're probably working on that time. We have several coaches that are running the Entrepremarrige platform, and they're running that program, and we're able to leverage leverage our stuff to where it's not just me. And I mean, I can only talk to so many people. So if we have that, when we get that set up, we'll be able to help more and more people.
I love
And
that.
then Jessica's killing it on knowing her. She's got the company she's working on now. It's up and rolling, and she's got two or three others in the pipeline. So
Yeah.
hard telling who she'll be. She is a business architect. She builds business, and she's phenomenal at it. Blows my mind, man. The stuff that she can do.
I can tell that you and I still align in a lot of the way that we think. Out of your mouth did not come that you're going to be in a mansion, that you're going to have a Corvette. Not saying that anything is bad to have nice things. I like nice things too, but the priorities are, how can we give more? How can we help more? How can we make an impact and leave this place better than it is? I freaking love that that's where your heart is, that's where your head is. And I fully hope and believe and expect that you will accomplish all of that stuff.
Well, let's check in before another 20 years goes by.
Yeah, let's
But
stay in
but
let's
let's
stay in touch for
stay in touch
sure.
a bit better.
Yeah, so how can people find you, and where can they find the content for Entrepreneurship Code, the courses that you teach? How can people connect with you?
Yeah, so all the socials out there, Insta, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, is at Kalan Speaks. So that's the handle on all across those. Also our website, www.kalanhubbard.com. And so in quarter, let's see, well, this is February 28th of 2024. Quarter two of this year, we'll roll out our on-demand coursework. So be looking for that, and that'll be on. But you can find it via all those socials, but it'll be on our website as well. And yeah, I'm excited for all those. I'm always looking for places to come and speak, whether that be small groups or big groups. I love to travel, So if I get to travel and do all this stuff, last summer I got to teach my course in Wasilla, Alaska, which was phenomenal.
That's awesome.
And so that was amazing. That was amazing. So if you know of a group of people out there that we can get in front of a room full of entrepreneurs, we're happy to come and help out where we can. Man, thanks for having me on. This was fantastic, and I appreciate you, bud.
Yeah. Hey, final thought. What is something that you would give somebody who's getting ready to get into the workforce? They're maybe getting ready to graduate high school, college, whatever it is they're getting in. What advice would you give that person?
The success of your blank will be directly related to the amount of tough conversations you're willing to have. And you can put whatever you want in that. Success of your career, success of your marriage, success of your health. Maybe that tough conversations with yourself.
Yeah.
But your ability to have tough conversations will determine your success in almost anywhere you go.
Yeah. Good book, Crucial Conversations. This is a sweet direct tie into that. But dude,
I'll give you that one. And one of the best advice my dad ever gave me when I left for college: wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet, take care of the people in charge of keys, secretaries, janitors, night shift people. If they got keys, they'll get you out of a jam when you're in a pinch.
That's fantastic. Kalan, it's been great talking to you. Great catching up. I hope your family is doing well. And thank you, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, boy.